I think it's evident, in what he did. He started to flash during practices, and so you kind of got to see, what it was going to look like when he got the opportunity in the earlier part of practices before we kicked off to games. And in every game, he did something that would catch your eye. And then you started, we had the joints with Seattle and kind of heard whispers from their guys like, hey, who is that guy? And so you knew, a young, talented player like that, teams are always looking for that developmental tight end. And had we exposed him to waivers, there was no chance we were getting it back.
What do you think?
Yeah, Ernest is a good, young, talented linebacker in this league, has been, since he came in. And, we started conversations probably over the weekend. I've had a long-standing relationship, with Les Snead, worked together for 9 years, him and Tony Pastores. And so just started as the typical phone calls that we get this time of year. Hey, you guys looking for anybody? You guys shopping anybody? And the conversation started from there, and we looked into it and, did our research and watched the film. A bunch of us in the room, our coaches watched him, and thought that he was a young player that could help us. I think the guys that we're adding, starting with Ali, he's a long, rangy guy. You've seen him develop over the years. And, he brings us that versatility, a guy that can stand up, put his hand in the dirt, a line across the front, whether it's in sub or in base. And then with Julius, he's a tough, hard-nosed kid. Got a text from Bones Fossil. He basically was like, damn you, that's a good pickup, one of his core guys. And there's not a special teams coach in this league I respect more than Bones, and how he sees special teams guys. So, and he was a guy that our scouts, put a lot of work into and, identified him and, we're excited to get. So
Protocol last spots.
Oh yeah, I mean even to the last couple of decisions we've had to make before we went to practice today. We were in full transparency, we were up until about 5 or 10 minutes left. Before we had to submit our the guys that we were flipping out for the roster claims, and so it was tough decisions all the way around, and not just tough decisions because of numbers or whatnot, but we've developed relationships with these guys, over myself over the last 2 seasons, and Brian since he's been here in January. So you develop relationships with these guys, you genuinely care about these guys, and we're the ones that deliver the news. So yet to answer the question, yes, it was tough decisions, but when it all came down to it, every guy that we spoke to understood what we were trying to do. Now, whether we chose to bring them back on the practice squad or not, they understood the vision